What up, what up, what up, everybody? It's your boy DFS Up North here with another Sunday Night Showdown podcast, right? We are talking about Sunday night football, and we got a good one tonight, actually. We've got Lions and Eagles, which I am excited about. It should be a good game after I feel like we've just kind of been on this rut of kind of stinkers in showdowns lately. So I'm excited about this one. It's going to be a fun one. Two pretty good offenses, two defenses that are dealing with some issues, right? Some injuries or just not being very good. So like I said, I think this is going to be a pretty fun showdown. If you are not a DFS Army VIP, you want to get access to these cheat sheets, all these other ones you see down there, things like that, you got to become a VIP. You can use that code GEEK. It gets you 10% off for life, actually, which is awesome. You lock in your price for life. Never changes. All right. So whatever you get in at today, as long as you don't ever cancel or unsubscribe, you will be locked in at that price forever. There are people who are literally paying $15 because that's what Geek charged for like his email service 15 years ago when this all started. And yeah, so there are people still paying that price, even though it's now closer to $100 a month or whatever it is. I don't even know. $79, I think, for we have so many different packages now, the props, things like that, VIP, Core 4, whatever. But yeah, get in, lock in your prices. So we've got a 46-point total here, 24 for the Eagles, and I was going to say Vikings for a second there. The Lions are dogs, 4-point dogs here. All right. So as we look at it, right, it is, honestly, a fairly straightforward showdown, right? There's not a ton of issues that we've got to deal with. The biggest thing that's coming out is that Sam Laporta is out. They actually placed him on injured reserve, which is kind of shocking to me. Some sort of back injury. Didn't miss a snap last week, played the whole game, no issues, and then was unable to practice this week. And then, like, I thought maybe it was going to be a 1 week thing, but then all of a sudden they dumped him on IR, so he's out for 4 weeks, which means that we get mega value Brock Wright here. All right, so Brock Wright is going to be, what is he here on DraftKings? So we got Sam Laporta as out. Where's Brock Wright? Brock Wright mega value at 1,600 now. Do I think that Brock Wright, like sometimes when we get these elite values, we start to talk about, all right, can we put them at captain? Can we put them at MVP? For me today, I'm going to let other people do that, right? If we look at the ownership here, it's not crazy. Well, we don't have ownership yet. That'll come later this afternoon. I know our boy Uppers Lad, who runs all of our stuff here, is dealing with some medical stuff. Again, prayers to my guy. Seems to be doing better, so nothing to worry about there, but just excited that he's feeling better. But yeah, he's one who's going to get that in for us here later this afternoon with the ownership. But yeah, we got Brock Wright. I think that the ownership will be a little bit higher in the captain than it should be. So I'm going to play a ton of Brock Wright here. Don't get me wrong, but I will mostly have him in the flex. All right. And to be honest, there's actually another punt that I like even better than Brock Wright, especially with Sam Laporta out, and that is going to be Khalif Raymond at 3,000. That is a guy that I am really high on. 4 for 49 last week, super solid values, 1,400 more on DraftKings than he is on than Brock Wright. Like, he's involved in this offense. He's the wide receiver 3. I think that he gets more looks here, and the ownership won't be anywhere near what Brock Wright is. All right. Otherwise, like, there's no real like injury issues. It's just, how do you foresee this game going? Obviously, we've got great plays like Amon-Ra. Obviously, we've got great plays like Jahmyr Gibbs and Jalen Hurts. How do we get different, right? I think you need to match exposure on some of those guys. But for me, the ways that I'm looking to get difference this week is I'm going to play some David Montgomery. All right. I think there's potential for a Monty game. The projection 10.13 is 6 points behind Gibbs, but there's potential that Monty gets multiple touchdowns here near the goal line, whatever. He can throw a touchdown pass. We've seen that multiple times in the past from him. I really like the price to potential ceiling ratio here. So I like him a lot. I think Jameson Williams has the chance to put up a big game. And then do we get the squeaky wheel narrative with AJ Brown? Lots to be made about him. Obviously, classic wide receiver, sort of a head case. Could we see a massive A.J. Brown game with the issues that the Lions are dealing with in their secondary? That's absolutely possible. Devonta Smith could play. And then the other option is like, do we see a Saquon Barkley game? We have not seen a Saquon Barkley game this season. I won a couple weeks ago, but he has struggled to really put together some consistent performances. Could get there. Dallas Goedert, fine. I actually really like both of the kickers here. The problem is that they neither of them get a ton of opportunities, just because of how good their offenses are. Neither defense is an interesting play for me. Like I said, I love Khalif Raymond, Tank Bigsby, or Will Shipley. Right. Last week it was Shipley's week. The week before it was Tank Bigsby. Who knows? But I think either of those guys could score. None of these real turds. The only one that I have a slight bit of interest, like that I'm gonna purposefully get into my lineups, is going to be a Ross Dwelly. Now we'll step in, but a classic veteran, been there a long time. We'll step into the backup role behind Brock Wright. We see the Lions play a ton of two tight end sets generally, so we could see them get a little bit more usage to Dwelly here, though he's primarily a pass blocker. Over on FanDuel, a little bit more of the same, right? I give the quarterbacks a little bit more of a bump here. The running backs a little bit more of a bump. The wide receivers a little bit less. I think Saquon Barkley and David Montgomery are very intriguing here. But again, how do you go wrong with a Jalen Hurts, right? Or how do you it's tough fade, but how do you go under on Jahmyr Gibbs, right? Just because of how well he has played. There's not a ton of like pricing differences over here today. Mostly the same. If we scroll down here, some of the better plays like a Dwelly's dead minimum, Brock Wright's a little bit cheaper, Khalif Raymond, like it sort of lines up for the most part. Where was one? I thought I had one that I thought was might have been on Monday night, but Jameson Williams is probably too cheap. But yeah, it's a pretty straightforward game. We're gonna see lots of passing. Neither of these secondaries are very good. The rush game is gonna be involved. Like I really like the over on 46, even though both of these teams have played to duds recently. I think we absolutely get on the over here in this game. So let's build some lineups. Well, I tend to build chalkier lineups on FanDuel. So if we were to put in, Jalen Hurts. Let's say we're going to get, let's say David Montgomery has a game. Let's go down here and grab a Khalif Raymond, right? Now we need some pass catchers. All right. Let's go A.J. Brown. Okay. Can we get a Amon-Ra in here? Yeah, we can. And we can even go like Devonta Smith. You put in Raymond, and now you've got and maybe a Monty. You've got some leverage there to build a pretty nice looking lineup. DraftKings more of the same, right? But here, let's say I'm more likely to go to one of these cheaper guys, right? Let's see. All right, there we go. Zoom in so we can see here. All right. Laporta's injured. Let's go David Montgomery in the MVP. All right. So now you're building, right? So you're building for a 2-touchdown game, essentially. Right? That's what you're building for here. We got the Laporta injury news. What else we got going on here? Anything on Brock Wright? Yeah, let's just see. Brock Wright was dealing with an injury. I think he's going to play. Otherwise, we could restart this whole pod over if he's going to be out, and we got to really just smash Ross Dwelly. All right. He's still listed as questionable. His trust in Wright is sky high. All right. Okay. Montgomery. Let's build this one a little bit different here. Let's go. And Jared Goff. We didn't really talk about Jared Goff. Jared Goff's fine, but we do have Jared Goff on the road here, which is always a little sketchy. Let's build a lineup that says, all right, Hurts and Barkley get it done. Let's go Jake Bates. Can we go Khalif catching a pass? And now we can basically play anybody here and Amon-Ra. Very unique lineup, not how normally people would build, but you can tell a story here, right? So that Monty's going to be the guy. He's going to score 2 touchdowns. Amon-Ra is going to get his normal workload. We're going to get the PPR points. Khalif Raymond's going to have, even that 4 for 49 at 3,000 is going to get it done. Bates kicks a couple of field goals. Hurts tush push. Barkley gets one in. even that sort of scenario leads me to believe that it's like a 26-22 game or 27-24, right? Something that's close to the total, close to the spread. That's where I see this one sort of going. So I really do like that sort of lineup. Again, don't be sleeping on Jalen Hurts in the MVP or captain. Amon-Ra there, right? Amon-Ra has this massive upside with the PPR, but all those guys are viable. And you know what? Use the DS. Go in, adjust, do what you need to do there. I don't know that you want to really make any rules for this one. I think that we can see it go a variety of ways. Like I said, you normally want to say like, hey, no Hurts and Barkley together because they're typically negatively correlated. But any game could we see Jalen Hurts throw for one touchdown pass, rush one in, and Barkley rushes for two. They're both going to be in, right? Barkley rushes for 1 in 100. They're both going to be in, right? Especially if some of those cheaper plays like Raymond, Brock Wright, things like that hit. And I didn't put Brock Wright in a lineup here, right? That even changes it drastically more, right? You go Raymond and Brock Wright. I don't know that I love that necessarily. I think that one of them probably gets in. For me, I'm leaning Khalif Raymond today, and I'm gonna love it when Geek goes nuts because Wiz Khalif scores a tutty, right? So that's what I got for you guys this week. I hope this short little one was helpful for you as you were building lineups for Sunday Night Showdown. We will chat soon. See ya.